Today we got our guy TG from Duquesne. How you feeling today, bro?
It's good. I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me.
You started out in JUCO, like just looking at your career. So
Mhm.
talk about, what made you want to go that route.
I wasn't babied into this, so I had everything. We grinded it out in JUCO.
You're saying I'm well conditioned, but the other team's point guard, like they might not be as well conditioned as
Right.
you.
When it's crunch time, TG get the ball in his hands and it don't look like you fatigued at all. It's like high screen and I'm ready to dance still.
Now you're at Duquesne, obviously, but what did that transfer portal look like for you, bro?
It was hectic, bro. As soon as you got in the portal, once everything opened up, just calls back to back. When they posted it on SportsCenter and they was recording the video, I looked at it. My dad was like, "Is that sped up?" I'm like, "Nah, it ain't sped up."
So just talk about your thoughts, especially right now, like you heading into the conference tournament. What you and Duquesne thinking?
I wanted to ask you a question about your coach, bro. Ohio legend, and he played obviously with LeBron James at St. Vincent St. Mary. So talk about getting coached by him, recruited by him.
I want to be first team everywhere I go. I have been up to this point, so.
Welcome back to another episode of Not Even D2. I'm your host, KJ Allison, here with my boy and co-host, as always, Neruda Perdomo. How you doing today, fam?
Doing good, man. Just hanging in there. Got another week before spring break, so I'm chilling. What about you?
Spring break, I know you about to be out in the motherland. I'm hyped for you. I'm good too. I got 2 more weeks till spring break, but like you, I'm pushing through, bro. We got to grind, keep going, and we got a fire episode today. But I swear, every time we record like an episode, do the intro, Kansas or someone in the Big 12 had a big game, or the Pistons are playing. So every time that's what we talk about. So viewers might get annoyed at hearing about the same teams, but I definitely want to break down some of the college games yesterday. I don't know if you caught any of the UNC and Louisville game. That was a good big time game without Caleb Wilson. And then later that night, Houston and Kansas battled it out. A pair of top 15 teams battling. So you catch either of those games?
I watched the Kansas-Houston game, and then I watched, it wasn't last night, but the Duke-Michigan game. Watched both of those.
Okay, fine. So first, Kansas, bro, I saw a stat that Bill Self never lost on Big Monday, bro. That's insane. Like, basically anytime he's, like I just said, playing on Monday, he's 42-0 or something like that. And this is Kansas' third top 25 win of the season. They're a legit team, bro, with and without DP. And a lot of criticism has been going at DP, whether, you would spend a number 1 pick on him because he's taking himself out of games. He's got a lot of DNPs. But either way, bro, he's got a beautiful shot. He's a tough shot maker. I'm curious what you think about this Kansas squad or DP.
Nah, I mean, the Kansas squad is definitely really good. We got our boy, Melvin Council on the team, obviously, but Trey White is super tough. Then their big number 30. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he's really good. Really,
Talking about Flory Badinga?
Yeah, he's really good on the defensive end. But yeah, I think obviously DP raises the ceiling of this team, which is why they need him to play as many games as he can. But DP is tough, man. I hate that there's so much talk around him right now, but he doesn't really help himself too.
Yeah, that's a fact. But either way, like I still would go AJ at number 1. I think in the beginning of the season, people were saying they'd go Darren Peterson, and that's fine if you still think that. But I just think AJ's ceiling is really high, and plus he's a dog. I don't want to waste a number 1 pick on Zachary Richichet type of mentalities. I'm not saying it's apples to apples with Darren Peterson, but if bro not even playing right now, Ben Simmons was the same way. It's like I don't know if I'm going all in on him as a franchise. But Houston, don't get me wrong, they're a really good team. Kingston Fleming's really good guard, but Coach Sampson usually held his hat on the defensive side, bro, and I'm not seeing the same intensity from them. Like, obviously they're still a top 5 team, but a lot of teams are like, even without Darren Peterson, they were getting good looks. Trey White exploding for like probably up there for his season high. I think he had 22 or something. So I'm looking forward to see how when March comes, Houston locks back in on the defensive end. But like you said, Kansas playing defense and they rebound with Flory. And Bill Self said at the end of the game, he was like, if you can guard and make people uncomfortable, you can beat any team. I don't care if I have Darren in the lineup or I don't. Like, we believe with this roster, if we do those 2 things, then we're going to be all right. But if you don't have any extra thoughts, we can get into this episode.
For sure.
I bet. So today we talk with Tarence Guinyard. It's actually funny. We're recording this intro on Tuesday. We recorded this episode yesterday, so very fresh in the mind. Tarence having a crazy season, really good year. His journey has been, like he took a year off of basketball out of high school, then went to JUCO route, played 2 years there. Then he went to UTM last year, had a first team all conference year, averaging similar stats everywhere he goes. And now he's at Duquesne, one of the best players, one of the best guards in the A-10, having a special year, averaging like 16 and 5, both top 3 in the conference. And bro, we talked about his film in this episode, but he's tough. Like I like his game a lot. But what you think about this episode?
Yeah, he's pro. As the kids say, he's pro for sure. Like he's an elite player. Definitely shout out TG for getting on. And like you highlighted, his journey is a super interesting journey, man. I mean, JUCO, low major basketball to now really high mid major basketball. He said he might have another year left next too. So if he stays at Duquesne or wherever, he's super tough, bro. He's a really fast guard, 3-level scorer. He can get to the cup. He can set up the offense. Like, there's not much bro really doesn't have in his game, honestly. Like, maybe it's the frame. He doesn't have that NBA frame that maybe some teams are looking for right now. But speed alone, like, he got that, bro. Speed and skill alone, he got that. So definitely, was glad that we got him on the pod. He's been killing this year for Duquesne. I'm really interested to see how the A-10 tournament rolls out because there's so many good teams from St. Louis to VCU to, our boy over at Fordham de Jour to, now our new friend TG. So it was definitely a great episode with bro.
Yeah, facts. I like how you said his frame might be the only hole, and I could see that, but also how he uses his body going up against bigs that are walling up with him or going against shot blockers. Like he's not the strongest guy, but he uses his body at an elite level, bro. And how you broke down his game too, like he can really dish it. He's a true point guard, I feel like, at heart, but he could really score it just because that's the game that, he's had to have been in throughout his career. Like, I'm looking through his stats. He had 30, he's also really efficient, 10 of 15 against Villanova. And then at Bonnie's, like, he didn't have his best scoring game. He was 5 of 13, 12 points, but he had 12 assists that game. And then a few days later, he had 27 against George Washington. So he can score it, but he can also pass it. You talked about his defense in the episode. So he's a complete player, bro. And if he gets another year, and I'm not saying it'll be at Duquesne or a high major school, but NBA teams are going to look at him, bro, because his growth trajectory is also really high. So I'm gonna keep following TG. I hope my boy goes crazy during the A-10 tournament. Real quick, before we get into the convo, who you got winning the A-10? We might be there, so I got to hear your thoughts.
Man, that's a great question, man. I feel like SLU got the pieces, obviously, but part of me is feeling like Fordham got like 4 or 5 in a row right now. I really want de Jour to make it to the NCAA tournament, to be honest. So I'm biased. I want to say Fordham.
I heard you. That's a really sneaky pick, and I'm not gonna be a homer. I'm not gonna say TG's team. I'm not gonna say de Jour's team. I'm gonna take the safe route. People are gonna be like, well, duh, they were ranked top 25, but I got SLU winning it. So those are our picks for the A-10 tourney. We might be there, but let's get into this episode. Make sure you subscribe. Go follow us at Not Even D2. We got a lot of content coming out, and let's hear from Tarence Guinyard.
We are here, man, back again for another episode of Not Even D2. And today we got our guy TG from Duquesne. How you feeling today, bro?
It's good. I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So we were supposed to record a little bit earlier, and bro had a late practice. So how's practice today? How you guys feeling coming off a tough game against Dayton? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good practice. We preserved our bodies a little bit today, but we got everything important that we need to get done in the amount of time we was out there. So we should be ready for Wednesday.
How you enjoying the Pennsylvania weather right now, bro? I know you're from Tampa, so talk to me about that.
Yeah, I hate the weather, honestly. It's too cold. It's snowing right now. It stopped snowing for a couple of days, and then it just out of nowhere it came right back. So it's not the best, but I mean we here. So
I feel that, and I'm in the city right now, and we got a state of emergency in the city right now because of the snow, bro. It's OD. But like you
Yeah.
said, some days it'd be warm, and then the next day it'd be
Yeah.
cold. But what y'all like weekly schedule look like heading into a game? Do y'all do film ahead of time? Like, how much ahead of time do y'all do film walkthrough shit
So,
like that?
yeah, so we would do film maybe 2 days before the game. And then we would go through sets, go through the other team sets, guard them, do run what we are supposed to be running against them a couple days before. And then game day, we got walk through in the morning. Um, and that would be about it until the game. Well, we have film that day too on game day, film and walk through, and then we'd be ready.
Was it an adjustment for you, like with the travel schedule in the A-10, like because you guys are going to Ohio, sometimes the city? Like, talk about that.
I mean, I, I would just say the adjustment, just how cold it is. Like it gets colder as we move. Like it just gets cold. Like in Ohio, it was freezing, but it was warmer here. When we traveled today, it was warmer here than we got there. It was super cold. So it's really that's just the biggest adjustment. For me, we don't bus a lot, so eh, that's another adjustment. We fly a lot, but because back in Martin, we bus everywhere down there. So yeah.
You coming from that JUCO lifestyle too, bro. So you definitely
Yeah,
you definitely know about the buses.
yeah, definitely.
I wanted to ask you about this, bro, because you started out in JUCO, like just looking at your career.
Hmm.
Um, I think Florida State College, is that the name of the school? Yeah,
Yeah.
down in Jacksonville. So
Mhm.
talk about, what made you want to go that route, and how do you feel like JUCO kind of shaped who you are today as a player, bro?
Yeah, so I mean, originally I was gonna go to Angelo State out of high school, and my son was born, so I didn't go. I came back and stayed in Jacksonville, and I took a whole year off. Like I didn't play basketball. I just like worked and didn't do anything. And then I ended up just going to like a workout at FSCJ, and then that's when I ended up going there. And I played there 2 years. The first year we had a losing season. We got a new coach. The second year, and we went to nationals. And JUCO's it's tough. It's not like a cakewalk. It's not. You don't get none of the resources you get here. D1. You don't get the full. We ate maybe what dominoes every game. Like we get a lot better stuff here. But I'm not like what's the word I'm looking for? I know I'm not like baby. I wasn't babied into this, so I had everything. We grinded it out in JUCO. So here, it's nice to have. We have a shoe bag. You put your shoe. Everybody put their shoes in one bag. You don't have to carry your shoes around. Like it's a lot. It's real nice here. But no, JUCO just shaped me. Just if I had to go to the grind, we had to grind. We didn't have a shoe bag. If we bust everywhere, I would be fine with it because I mean that's what I came from. So.
Wait, bro, I definitely want to continue about the JUCO talk, but father, I didn't even know you had a son, so talk about that. What age were you when you had a kid?
I was 17. I turned 18 when he was born. I got two boys.
Good
Uh,
for you, Brody.
yeah, appreciate it. So I was 17, turning 18. Then I had one 2 years after that. And I actually got one on the way now.
Okay.
Hey, is it
Yeah,
another boy?
You're going getting after it, but go ahead,
yeah, I
bro.
got another boy. So
That's what's up, man.
yeah,
What are their names, real quick?
TJ, it's Terrence Jr. and then True.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, well, they're very young, obviously, but they'd be going to all your games and stuff, or are they down in
Yeah, I
Florida?
mean the ones that can make it too. They back in Florida right now, so the ones they can make it too, they be up here for that. So
Nah, I love what you said though about the JUCO grind, bro, because we've interviewed, a lot of different players that, our podcast is obviously not even D2, so we interview a lot of different players that, have interesting stories, have come up levels.
yeah,
And, we interviewed Melvin Council, and Melvin Council started out as a JUCO. I actually think he said Domino's was his
yeah.
favorite food as well down in JUCO. But I'm just wondering, I know you had a child, so that probably changed your situation, and I know you said like you love to grind and that's part of who you are, but did JUCO feel like I don't want to say setback, but did it feel like almost a setback at the time for you, or no, you didn't see it that way?
So kind of, because when you in high school, you like I was real good in high school. But I played alongside Alex Fudge. He in the NBA now, but
Hmm.
so I mean you have the dreams in high school, just go straight D1 or whatever level. You don't have the idea that you want to go JUCO. So it wasn't like planning to go JUCO. But once I got there, and I knew how good I was. I already knew how good I was, and so I went JUCO, and I just didn't see it as. At first, I saw it as like, dang man, it's JUCO. But as I kept playing, coach is gonna reach out. If you playing really well, they gonna find you. That's why I had to realize that anytime they're gonna find you. No matter where you playing at. So
I mean, if you're talented, like you said, they're gonna find you in every type of place, bro. Like look at a player like Austin Reeves. Like he was playing at Wichita State. He goes to Oklahoma undrafted, and now he's playing for the Lakers. And at UTM, I was watching some of your film, bro. At the defensive end, like you was getting after it, bro. And I think most JUCO players I see, like they take defense very serious, bro. Like they don't like when people score on them. And I think you were second on the team in steals that year. So talk
yeah.
about your mentality on the defensive end, bro, and what you bring to the court.
Yeah, so defense is, I mean, it makes everything easier. It makes offense easier. If you defend, you know, you get 3 stops in a row, and next thing you score, next thing you know, you could be up 9. It's
Facts.
like it's so crazy that a lot of people get obsessed with offense and there's just the ability to score. Like I have an ability to score, but I know if I defend, it's all about winning. We defend, we get stops. I can have 6, 7 points. It doesn't matter. We're gonna win the game. So that's how I look at it. We defend, and your shots gonna come. Like in the offense, my shots come. I don't go hunting shots; they just come. But when you defend, it just boosts it. Like it boosts your shot, your preparation, everything. And it is a pride thing. You don't want to let anybody just score on you. They calling certain plays that just seek you out. I like it. That's not something
Yeah.
in JUCO we don't go. We didn't go for, like, because when we was on offense in JUCO, we sought out the play that's not going to guard. We'll get a switch and just ISO. So you don't ever want to be that one getting the screen brought up for you to switch. Like, no, you don't want to be that dude. So we take it very prideful in JUCO.
No, I respect that, bro. And one thing I was curious about, like, yeah, you are doing good work on the defensive side right now. You averaging over a steal a game, but also like a lot of the offense is run through you, so you need to not you don't need to, but I imagine you're trying to conserve some of your energy for the offensive end. So, is that conversations like do you maybe not guard the best player or guard someone that's a shooter mostly, like to conserve some of your energy for that end?
So yeah, I mean, you would want to preserve your energy, obviously, but at this level, it just goes so fast. Like maybe in JUCO, it will work to preserve. Like you can sit off on somebody that's not like he after JUCO when I probably wouldn't play anywhere. So like you sometimes you can hide off in that. Here, let this level, it's always somebody on the court that can just that can do something that can play. And me, I got good conditions, so I'm able to like kind of do both. There's some possessions where you just like we've been going back and forth. You tired? I'll go off to a shooter, somebody that's not going to handle the ball. And luckily I got 2 teammates with me as guards that can guard. So like I can go off ball and say like B Hall for example. I say B Hall, you take ball, and I'm off on the corner, and it gives you time to breathe and catch your breath as for that play. And then then we're right back at it. We pick up a lot. We try to pick up 94, and sometimes you're not gonna get to it every single time, but just to set the tone of picking up 94 feet, pressuring the ball, and then you back up, pressure the ball to half court and back up. Just putting the sense in their head that they're not gonna be just walking up the court with the ball. So yeah.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like you're saying I'm well conditioned, but the other team's point guard, like they might not be as well conditioned as
Right.
you, bro. So you are pressuring them the whole game. Like by the end of this, second half in this close game, like they're not gonna have the same legs as you. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's how it is usually in games. We pressure all games. Second half is like the last 4 minutes of the game. Them other guards are tired, but
Nah, for sure, for
because you
sure.
pressure them all game. But yeah,
Yeah, like watching the film, the when it's crunch time, TG get the ball in his hands and it don't look like you fatigued at all. It's like high screen and I'm ready to dance still. And the game against Lasalle the other night, like you played a lot of minutes down the stretch and then like you could see you was still at full speed able to get all the way down to the cup, which we'll definitely talk about. But you like what you preach or what you saying is actually real life too.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So we're gonna talk about what the transfer portal looked like after your season at UTM, but I want to know how you got to UTM first before we talk about how you transferred
Okay.
that next year. So talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, when I was in JUCO, my second year. Coach P knows Coach Schulman, who's the head coach at UT Martin right now.
Okay.
And I played versus Coach Schulman at Eastern Florida twice, my freshman and sophomore year of JUCO, and I just kept like it. I killed them. They beat us, but I killed them. But it was just they was. I mean, they had a better team. Honestly, just had a better team, and he was a really good coach. And our second year, we had a really good coach. We was up 20 on them at halftime, and ended up losing it. But
Damn.
yeah. So and he always said, like you the best guard in Florida. Best guard in JUCO in Florida. And then he ended up getting the UT Martin job after the season because they didn't go to nationals. Eastern Florida, they didn't get invited, or whatever. So he went to UT Martin, got the job, and I was the first person he offered to come there. And I already knew it. Like it was other schools talking to me in that same conference also, but I already knew I wanted to go play for him. He just believed I wasn't even on his team, and he believed I was the best guard in Florida. And he tried to recruit me to Eastern Florida my second year of JUCO, but I stayed to play with the coach that came in at Coach P at FSCJ. But he was recruiting me hard, and I felt like if that new coach wouldn't have came to FSCJ, I would have went and played with him at Eastern Florida. So when he got the job, I immediately committed and took off from there. So.
Word, that's what's up, bro. I don't know if you watch Club 520 is Jeff Teague's podcast, but they have a line that says "Go where you're celebrated," and
Yeah.
that's kind of what's happening with you, bro. Like you're going where you celebrate, you're going where a coach that believes in you, and I mean, you killed. You were the first team all conference there, averaged 16 a game, and after that year, like we mentioned, you go into the transfer portal. Now you're at Duquesne, obviously, but what did that transfer portal look like for you, bro?
It was hectic, bro. As soon as you got in the portal, once everything opened up, just calls back to back to back to back, and it's you got to weed out where you want to go, and it was stressful. I mean, it's fun, in the moment because it's like all the coaches, everybody wants you to come here, but it's stressful. Yeah, picking up calls from everywhere, and you don't know. Like, it's some schools I just knew I wasn't going. So I answer the phone still, still give them time to say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, if I didn't want to go, I would let them know then, like, I appreciate you, but, I think I'm going to go elsewhere. Blah, blah, blah. So it was just a lot of that. And then it came down to a couple schools. And now it's decision time. He's got to take visits and stuff like that. So, yeah, and then ultimately I chose here to come to Duquesne. So.
Word. What were the other schools that like were in your final three maybe?
My final three were Pacific,
Okay.
here, and I was gonna stay home and go to JU in
Okay.
Jacksonville.
One thing I'm curious with the era NIL, like how early does that become a part of your consideration or a part of the conversation with the coaching staff, AD department, whatever the case may be? Like how early was or like talk about your decision process? Like was that a big factor in your decision to get to Duquesne?
For me, honestly, first it's like do I want to play here? Like, do I like the play style? Do I like where I'm gonna be inside of this roster first? And then I have kids, so I need to take care of mine. So that obviously also plays a big part into it. But once you're in a portal, once they call, it's kind of. I have an agent, so I would I would direct the money part to my agent. Go talk to my agent. But they would ask. That would be a top question. They would ask. What are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. And I would throw that off to my agent. And I want to talk about basketball. So I want to talk about like what is this offense, what is this defense, what I'm gonna do inside of this on this team. And you talked about it, money. My agent, I already had a set, thing going on. My agent that he already know, and he'll reply back to me, blah 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 blah, and then we'll go from there. But that's how I did handled it with the NIL situation.
Nah, for sure. And you could see that like the fit is where you need it to be too. And you see some players like they'll go for the bag and then they'll be upset when they're fifth option or barely
Right.
playing. It's like, well, you just chose the school for the bag and now you're upset. But so I mentioned like I'll be watching some of your games now that we was locked in, and one thing I was really impressed by is like your court vision, how you control the game a little bit in the point guard spot. So just talk about whether that's always been a part of your game. Have you developed in that aspect, or Like, how much individual film are you watching? Like, all right, this team is gonna ice me. What are my reads today? Just talk about that process of being a point.
Yeah, so I mean, I started out playing like I used to play the two guard, so that's how I came to like the score. Like even from AAU, even high school, I played the two. I played point guard 1 year in high school in my junior year, and I'm I averaged 13 and 6. I just have the ability to make reads, but I was always put in the mode just to score. In high school, AAU. Besides, I also played point guard with Team Space on my AAU team. But yeah, it came to me naturally just to be able to read and know what's gonna happen before before it happens. Like when the screen comes and I already know what defenses you're in. If it once the screen come and I come off I already know what each read. I know if he gonna tag, I know he gonna come up. Like I already know, and I know where my teammates are supposed to be. So sometimes I'll throw it. Like I'll come off a screen, he'll tag, he'll rise, and I'll throw it. It'll already be out of my hand, and he trying to tag still, but he wide open because I know he's supposed to be there. Now if he's not there, it's turnover on me. But honestly, would it really be my fault? Probably not, because it's a lift. You're supposed to lift. So I know where my teammates supposed to be at all times. I mean, I had to work on it too, because at UT Martin, I also played off the ball too. If you watch some of those things, I played as a combo guard player, so I played the two a lot, and I would be brought up to one plate like for Spain action and stuff like that. Just to score if we needed to score and run. So I didn't do much. Like I averaged two assists at UT Martin, but you could see on film that it was there. Like I knew what reads to go. And then in the summer, I grinded it out. Like I laid back on just because I would usually work out when I working on moves, scoring, blah, blah, blah. So I got in with my brother back in Tampa, and we made like just reads. So I just made reads, ball screen. He lift, you make that. He roll, I throw the skip with my left, throw it right. Like just worked on reads like that. I give it up, come get it back. Like I just practiced all those different reads, and then in the summer when we got here, I did the same thing. I just made like my summer assist turnover was crazy. So I just made reads, and then coach he asked me something like you can score. Like I'm like yeah I know I can score. I'm just like in the summer because I was just working on like passing it, and when we played 5-on-5, like I wouldn't even try to score. I just try to like make these different reads and just knowing where everybody's gonna be at. And I was like, yeah, like I know I can score. Then we came out in the season, and like the beginning of the game, I had 25, 19, 22. He's like, oh man, like yeah, you can, like so yeah. That's pretty much what I did in the summer to bring my assist rate up.
You talking about working on that passing, and like I'm wondering, did you have to like gain chemistry with your teammates? Because James Harden talked about how he would just rep out passes with Ivica Zubac after practice for like hours on end, just making sure they had that chemistry right. So did you do that with your teammates too?
So funny, it's crazy. Like Jimmy Williams, I played with him and in Tampa at a park. Before we even knew we was coming to Duquesne, he already had committed, but I wasn't committed anywhere, and I didn't even know that he committed. And we was like playing, and like we just had this crazy like chemistry. Like I knew that when he threw I drove middle back door, boom, and it was like crazy. Then I got here and committed, and he was like, Coach Juice was like, you know him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I was like, yeah, I was playing with him at the park. So yeah, like I mean. I don't necessarily after practice, do certain workouts or with certain teammates. But
Yeah.
like as we playing in practice, like if I go middle and the Cam, I know Cam's going backdoor. I know it. And like I can almost blindly throw it and know that he's going there. So it's just built over summer of just playing 5-on-5, just freelancing. Like in the summer we just freelance 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And I was able to see where people like to shoot from, what they're like, when would they cut, when like without me telling them, I just wanted to see what they would do. Because at UT Martin, if I drove middle, it was automatically corner cut. Like it was
Yeah.
automatic. But here I wanted to see, so I would drive middle, and I would just see what we would do. Now the difference between certain people, like Cam with corner cut, Jimmy wants to shoot the three, so he would probably stay. So it was something I just had to learn. And sometimes like now I would tell him like, hey Jim, corner cut when I drive middle. But if I drive middle and don't say nothing, I wouldn't just blindly throw it. I would know he's staying corner. So it's like certain things you gotta know that like with your team. Like Dave, I know he like lobs. I know certain things about everybody their tendencies and what they like to do. So it helps a lot on offense being able to make reads and not turn the ball over.
Yeah, we about to go through some of your film, and I'm glad you could talk the game at a high level, bro. I don't have no assist clips, but I'm glad that you just broke it down to the audience. Like, yo, I'm really connected with my teammates. I could
Yeah,
see this read before it even happened, so that's high level, bro, for sure. And the cornerback doors is especially good for you because teams are like you're so fast getting downhill, getting paint touches that teams are starting to collapse, and then
right.
they collapse. You got either Jimmy, like you said, or their man is just cutting behind them. So
Hmm.
that's definitely I can see that. But let's get some film work in. Let me know if y'all can see this. Y'all can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
I bet. So we mentioned that De Jore's our guy, so I had to put this one first so the audience sees it and it just leaves their brain after this. But this is some work right here. We'll go through it and then we'll play it first and then run it back so we could get your read type shit.
All right, I got
All right, I got a few things for this one. First thing, this move right here, this stutter step got De Jore going crazy, but oh my god. And then the main part is I'm seeing a lot of your finishes when you get downhill, you like you get up top with the big and then you double clutch finish outside. So
you.
are are you ever in the like weight room to be able to finish over bigs, or that's just a touch thing really?
Yeah, I mean, we lift a lot, but it's more of a touch thing. Like I always put it up because a lot of bigs they want to jump, they want to block stuff. So you show them the ball, they're gonna go for it, and by the time they go for it, it's already over here, and then I can just and I got good touch around the rim. I can finish high off. I usually try to put it high because I mean it's bigs. So that specific play, I knew he walled up. Like I knew he wouldn't try to block it, so I had to put it higher up. But,
Yeah, your like scoop layups finishing high is high level too. I think I got a clip or two, but we'll get into this next one. All right, so what I feel like I'm not saying you're a switch merchant, but all the time that a big switches onto you is usually kill mode. So is that like your mindset off rip? Like a big is on me, I gotta go score it.
so yeah, when if I get a switch with a big, in my head I'm trying to attack. I want to score, but also it would put a small on who is that, Yacht? I think that's Yacht. Yeah, so we'll put a small on our big, and then if I don't get past it, I would usually just put it over the top to Yacht. But in my thought, if I drive and put it up on the rim just anywhere and I happen to miss, he's right there with a 6 foot guard on him. Yacht 6'10",
Right.
so it's in our advantage.
Yo, Ruda, watch this. Watch this, Hezzy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nah, your hezzy is actually elite, bro. I'm not trying, and viewers, I'm not trying to glaze, but this is tough. All right, let the next one go. All right, so I'll let it play first. So this one, you knew he was ghosting because the skip step is tough, especially with how fast you are. But you knew he was ghosting this one.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna be a ghost. Yeah, I knew he was gonna ghost. I was trying to. I only reason I searched because I wanted to know if they was about to switch it or not. But they ended up not switching, so they blew the switch, and then I just had to finish. I mean, and Dave had him sealed down there. Did a good job sealing him, so it was just me and the rim essentially.
Nah,
I got a quick question. If this is 7 minutes left in the second and y'all up by like 7, you punching that or no?
Yeah, I probably would have because he had him sealed off and everything. Yeah, but it's 30
your
seconds. We got to take the safe route.
your bigs do a good job, like Gortat, screening people off.
Yeah, they do.
All right, but another switch merchant. Here we go. Oh my. So we already showed the hezzy on Joe from Bonnie's. So you get this Dayton big. So
Mhm.
you went to the step back here because he didn't really bite on the hezzy, or like it was just I'm in flow state right now.
So my go to is that step back right there, that
Uh-huh.
right punch step back. I usually do it on bigs, because their reaction time is a lot slower, and if I can get it off, it's pretty much good. Unless I mean something drastic happens, but it's pretty much good on that. I work on that every single day in the morning after practice, so that's when I work on.
Okay, we about to see another hezzy work. Oh my.
That's that was tough.
To the school, he said that was tough. Run that back. Oh my.
People don't understand how hard of a shot that is. Like you going full speed, bro,
Yeah.
and you gotta like place it and put it like with the perfect touch so it can just hit the backboard and go right in. Tough shot.
Yeah, I worked on that a lot at Martin too. I like with Coach Schulman, he worked a lot of inside hand finishes.
Heard you.
So
This one is OD. So was Loyola icing your screens or like
did, Loyola, I think Loyola was they tried to ice that one. Middle ball screens they were trying to like hedge,
uh
but when I on the side like this they would try to ice. And I knew he was finna try to jump into the ice, but I was already hot at this point. I already know I hit a couple threes before this one, so
and
I
then
knew I was putting that one up for sure.
when I was watching this on film, I was like, damn, that's a dagger. And then the next clip, I was like, oh, he's just really frying them.
Yeah, I was hot that game. Yeah, here go that punch step. Yeah.
So like, where you get your inspiration for moves really? Because you got the hezzy, you got the punch step back, you got inside hand scoops. So like, where you really get your craft from?
So my hezzy, I get it. Shangun, what's his name?
Yeah, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Yeah, I got it. That's what I originally started. Like, if you looked at my high school film, I abused it. Like, like I abused it bad. And they would know the coaches. They was like, he's carrying. They was just trying to cry to the refs about carry, blah blah. But I used to hesitate them to death. But I just where I got the hezzy from. Every other move, some like I'll be on Instagram on TikTok or something. I see a move, like I see Kyrie do something. I'm like, damn, that was tough. Then I come and practice and just practice the move. Like I even the guy still in college right now. He play for Alabama. Phylon, like he got this spin move. He dropped his right foot first, like he going full speed and he'll
Yeah.
spin. So I've been working on that move. I haven't pulled it out yet, but soon enough.
Okay. Coming soon for the A-10 turn.
Yeah, yeah, soon enough. It'll be,
We'll get to this next one. I'll let this one play. Snatch, split. Oh my God, that's OD. So this first one, snatch, he almost fell, and then the split. So how'd you really see this? Cause you coming off of a rescreen. Oh,
yeah.
from this first reaction, or what happened?
So when I brought it right here, I seen that I was gonna be able to split it because he didn't want me to shoot it. I knew he didn't want me to come off and pull the three. And usually, if they're not gonna jump out, he would he would be in an open stance like this. But you see how he's lunging forward, like he about to like jump out like this. That's what I knew at that moment I could split him. And then if you play it when I came out, he jumped out a little bit more, and then also I threw it through. And I knew and I already knew he was off. The guard was off me because once I crossed over, I knew I had enough space. He didn't have a chance to come and reach down at it, so that's why I knew I could split it.
No,
It's also too like the amount of dribbles you use in that move. Like just from the crossover to the split, like there's no wasted movements at all. Like
Yeah,
if you look at the clip, it's cross,
uh,
boom, 1-2, no dribble needed, and then splits it. That's
that's bad.
that's kind of that's elite, bro. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
that's what I try to do as less amount of dribbling as I can.
For sure, and definitely got to end it with this one, bro. Because it's a big moment of the season as well. Down one, I'm gonna just let the clip play, and then I want you to break it. Like, tell me what you was thinking after the missed free throw. But we'll let it play first. Audience see it. Game SportsCenter top 10.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
So
So I mean,
let me know. Boom right here. Shout out to that's number 0. Is that the number? That's about
which one?
two.
Oh, that's 6. That's A Will.
Shout out to him because he definitely could have just took a few dribbles and threw up some like from half, but he knew get it to my flashy or my speedy point guard.
Yeah.
So you get the ball. What's you thinking? I'm going to the rack off rip?
Yeah, I already knew I had enough time. Once he missed it, it's 6 seconds. I only really need 3 to get down there. It was 6 seconds. I took off. If you go back and go, I took off from the 3-point line. My last dribble was at the 3-point line, and I just used length to reach out and take those 2 steps. But I knew I was gonna get all the way to the right, and a lot of people would have stopped, tried to shoot it through shoot it from half court, but I knew I had the speed to get there before the time was over, and yeah, I just relied on the speed, and I knew they was one behind because the dude jumped, he jumped to try to get this steal, and then so I knew he was behind me, and then when I grabbed it here, I seen him, so I took off right, but he just gave me the right. If it was me, I would have jumped and forced the weekend, but. So then he sent me right, and I knew I was going to outrun him, and it was just like once I got to the rim, I had to finish. That's what it was. Like at this moment, I knew I just got to finish this. Like that's all it was, and he wasn't able to block it. He was still trying to run up to catch up to me. So, and then the guard at the end of the jump ball was nothing. So
Nah, that's OD. So that got SportsCenter top 10. You was expecting like after the shot went in, you was like, oh, that's gonna be a big time moment for me, or what was your reaction when you like, oh, I just game done?
yeah, I mean, it felt surreal. It was crazy. I waved bye to them. I was. it was a good moment. I didn't quite at that time think about sports in time. After the game, and I seen the replay and everything. I was like, yeah, that probably will be. But at that moment, I was just glad we pulled it out because that was an ugly game. We easily could have lost that. We played a bad one that game, but we ended up pulling it out. Sometimes good teams have bad games. You got to still figure out a way to win. So.
I was gonna say too, a little funny comment. Bro, watching those clips, especially at the end, it looks like you moving in 2x speed and everybody else at 1x, bro. Especially when you running down the court.
Yeah, when they posted it on SportsCenter and they had like they shot they was recording the video. I looked at it and my dad was like, "Is that sped up?" I'm like, "Nah, it ain't sped up." But
And
yeah,
that's what I was saying earlier, bro. It's like everybody tired at that moment, but you kicking it into another gear. So you condition, you super fast. And I want to transition. So you coming from UTM, where that's the OVC?
OVC, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
fact. So now you in the A-10. That's like the best mid-major conference. SLU is top 20. I don't know if they still rank, but they was top 25 for a little minute. You got other historic programs, legendary programs, Dayton, Davidson. So just talk about your thoughts, especially right now, like you heading into the conference tournament. What you and Duquesne thinking? But I also want to hear like your personal thoughts on the conference as a whole.
I personally, my personal comment, I think it's a very great conference. It's it's probably the fifth, sixth best conference I think overall. It's a lot of good players in this conference. We got Robbie at St. Louis. They hold and their starting five is good. You got it's a lot of Castro. I know he been hurt, but he's good. Simmons at Bonnie's, Frank Mitchell. It's a lot of good players in this conference. So it's not like to be at a top player in this conference. You have to be really good. And I think as a team, we're top. I think we're a top team in this conference. We was just. I mean, we're a game away from being the fourth seed or third seed. They're not. Mason 9-5, Dayton 9-5, and I think what Joe's 9-5. We right 8-6, lost the game to Dayton. We right behind. We win the game. We win the game. They lose one. We're back in. Could be potentially third, fourth seed. So it's a lot of good teams. In the conference. Like I said, SLU, they're good. Davidson also is a good team. Dayton is a good team. There's just a lot of good teams, a lot of good coaches in the league, and we just have to do what we set out to do from the summer. We believe we're one of the best teams in this conference, so we just gotta go out in the tournament and prove it. It's cool. Right now in the conference, you want to have the best record. St. Louis got the best record in the conference right now, but it really all comes down to that tournament. Who can play the best 3 4 games? You get a bye, maybe get a double bye. Who can play the best 2 games? Who can play the best 3 games? It comes down to that winning streak you got to have in the conference tournament. So right now, people like even our 5 game win streak we just went on. Great, it's good to win. You don't want to lose, but it comes down to that tournament. That's what we. Well, you don't want to look too far ahead, but it's coming up. It'll be here sooner or later. So we got get past these next. I think we got 4 games. Try to win them all. But once we get in that tournament, it's literally right across the street. I can see it from my apartment. Like, we gotta be ready to win that. So
Hey, bro, that's some good motivation, bro. You looking at the where the tournament is going to be held every day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's going to get you right. And you know, a saying that they always say, I feel like in college sports is, you know, in playoffs or conference tournaments, a whole new season, bro. Everybody is 0-0 at that point. So we'll see what happens. And I know KJ and I are definitely excited to see how y'all do. But I wanted to ask you a question about your coach, bro, Coach Joyce,
yeah.
because he's an Ohio legend. Ohio legend, and you know he played obviously with LeBron James at St. Vincent St. Mary, if I'm not mistaken. So, talk about getting coached by him, recruited by him, and you know he was a point guard too when he was in high school and when he played. So, talk about that aspect, you know, talking basketball with him, but also like where you see the Duquesne program going under his leadership.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a cool coach, man. He very calm and soft. Like he's not a rah rah type of coach. You know, he calm. You know, he gets his point. He'll get his point across if need be. But he's very calm, cool coach. He's a great thing is he played point guard, so he know a lot of reads. Like I said in the summer when I was working on reads, you know, he would come in and like, to you need to know once before you come off the screen where he's gonna be about. So he gave me a lot of those, a lot of insight on those type of plays, those type of reads, and he makes a lot of adjustments, you know, at the right time. It's like he does a great job with his substitution pattern. He knows like who to get in the game. He know who to pull when it's like, you know, when it's tight, like, if something going wrong. He tends to make the right decision. And yeah, even all like the coaching staff, they respect him. Everybody respect him. You know, he holds a high standard here for Duquesne. And I think under his leadership they'll do. I mean, as next year's on, they would do. They'll do great. They'll do fine. I can see him winning. You know, a couple conference tournaments. You know, getting to March Madness under him as well. He sets the tone, the right in practice and before the games. You know, he emphasizes defense a lot. He take pride in defense. You know, you always want a coach that wants, you know, to defend. You don't want to just go out and keep playing, you know, high scoring games. Sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes people make shots. You want to be able to stop teams, and he take pride in, you know, being able to defend. Like even in the summer, we did half offense, half defense for like the summer, half offense for half of the summer, half defense. And when we just have defense, it's all defense, like all practice. So, you know, in that moment, you're like, man, damn, we got to play defense for 2 hours. Like, you know, you think about it, but when you getting deep in the season, you're gonna think about that time you had to play defense. Like, do you really want to lose this game? You know, because you couldn't defend. Like, you know, so it's one thing for coaches. I mean, if players making tough shots, but like, you know, he emphasizes just defending. If they make a tough shot, okay. If they make something outside of the scout or what we put in, then okay. But like, you know, he does a good job with film. You know, the scout and just preparing us for the game. So.
No, for sure, bro. And that was one thing that stood out to me. Like, even when you hit the game winner, coach wasn't like bugging or nothing. You could tell he got a level head, bro. And it probably helps y'all, like, looking at the sideline, seeing a common force instead of someone all angst at the refs or like bugging on y'all if y'all make a mistake. So I could definitely see that. And this is our last question before we get into rapid fire. But you know, like right now you average like 16 a game. I think that's top three in the A-10. You averaging 5 assists. That's top two in the A-10. I gotta, I gotta see how far away you are from number one because we need that assist leader. But basically, I'm just curious, bro. What's the mindset moving forward? What's your goals moving forward? I know you're a senior, but are you gonna get an extra year? Just talk about your future, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, as this year, you know, as the conference goes out, I mean, obviously, probably everybody here wants to be a first team all conference. I mean, that was a goal of mine from the beginning of the year as well. I want to be first team everywhere I go. I have been up to this point, so um, you know, yeah, that was a big emphasis, you know, but you got to win. You know, you don't get. I don't see many teams you get first team all conference and you're the last team in the conference. You know, unless you just you're outstanding average. Winning push you up there if you're playing well as well. So obviously, I wanted that. I want us to, you know, win the conference tournament. I want to go to March Madness. You know, as bad as anybody. You know that. You know we won't win the regular season. Championship, because our SLU probably has the regular season. They only lost one game, so they'll get that. But we want that conference tournament championship. And we want to go March Madness and see if we can see what we can do there. Get a game or just be in that environment. And as of next year, so. I'm hopeful to get a next year, another year with JUCO. It's looking like I will. So hopefully, barring anything crazy that happens, I'll have another year. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be playing another year in college. So.
That's what's up, bro. Definitely excited, to see whether, I don't know what your situation is, Duquesne or wherever, but, I know great things are in the card for our guy TG. But, we got rapid fire. We got 3 questions, and then KJ got started 5. You ready, bro?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, word. So first rapid fire question I got for you. Dream king of the court matchup. You got to pick 3 players.
I would pick Steph. Steph, KD, and hold on, third. Steph, KD, and Ron.
Ron, solid. Next rapid fire question I got for you. Who got the best handles that you've ever seen, like in the NBA, college, whatever it may be?
Kyrie probably got the best handles I've seen. I was thinking of this dude in college, but I can't remember his name. He's a little short, but he got some crazy handles too. But yeah, probably Kyrie.
Kyrie. All right, and then last rapid fire question I got for you. I know, from the film, it doesn't seem like you getting up there like too crazy, but is it crazier to dunk on someone or drop somebody?
I would say it's crazier to man, because if you catch, I'd probably say it's crazier to dunk on somebody. Being 6'2", if you go catch a 7-footer, it's great.
That's a fact. I disagree, but I like the reasoning for it, because as a guard, if you get up there and you punch on a big, that's
Yeah.
if you island work with somebody and you actually make them fall, that's also
Yeah, that is also crazy. Yeah.
But we got in this episode with Start 5 edition. So if you're a coach, a 7-on lineup, point guard through center, who's your lineup going to be? And this edition is going to be the best teammates that you've had. So it could be from high school all the way to right now. Build a lineup. You could include yourself too if you want. Just tell me what position
Okay.
you're playing at.
So including myself, I would play point guard.
Okay.
Who I would have it too? I would take. Trying to think of my teammates. I actually take Jimmy. I'll take Jimmy Williams at 2. My teammate here. I would take Alex Fudge at the 3. Who I'll go for 5. The 4, I would probably go. I already got Alex at the 3. I would go. I only played with him 1 year, but we're going to count. I'll take Isaiah Adams at a 4.
You play with him
And
at?
then
Where you play with him at?
AAU. I played with him a year at AAU. When I played in Jacks. And then I would take. Well, I would take it at 5. Man. Probably because I would want a shooting 5 that can shoot. I can't think of any 5. I guess I'll take Dave at the 5. He ain't really got a jumper, but he gonna block. He gonna block and catch live. So
Valid. That's a tough little lineup, bro, and appreciate you getting on. I know it's a busy time in the year for you, so appreciate you. And Ruda and I, we're going to be tapped into this A-10 tourney, so good luck, bro.
All right, appreciate y'all having me.
That is going to do it for this conversation with TG, Tarence Guinyard. Like you said in the intro, bro, he's pro. Like, he has a pro game. He's got I mentioned some of the stuff he could do on film, but like his arsenal of moves is deep. He got a deep bag. He can score. He can pass. He can play defense. So I'm excited to see where TG's future goes. But what you think about this episode?
Yeah, I mean, definitely great episode. Like we mentioned it, like we recapped it, in the intro. Really excited to see, where TG goes. And he's playing for something special, bro. He got 2 kids right now, 1 kid on the way. I think he said he has 3 boys, bro, which is a blessing. That is a dream right there. So, nah, but definitely shout out TG, man. Quick player comp for him though, and I'm not saying this because they both have dreads. Him and D Jenkins on the Pistons, bro. Him and D Jenkins on the Pistons. Right now, like Darius Jenkins is not like he's not really showing like his bag for real. But at St. John's, he was like that, bro. Watch the tape. They're both like fast guards that can guard and pass. Like they tough.
Bro, this is not to go too much into it, but this is why the portal is so good, bro. Because we would never see hear about TG, hear about a guy like Jenkins because started at Iona, then just kept working his way up, got different opportunities, and now they on big time platforms being able to shine, bro. So that's a big plus about the portal. But like I said, we always recording after a big Pistons game, and partly because our boy Duncan's on the team, we like talking about them. But I think I took a lot away from last night's game between Detroit and San Antonio. Real quick, like some of the stuff Wemby does, bro. During his rookie year, I thought, like, I'm gonna get used to some of these plays eventually, bro. But every game I watch, I'm just like, yo, this is crazy what we're seeing. Like some of the blocks he had last night, I think he finished with 6, but some of them on Cade were just like, against normal teams or normal bigs, Cade's going to the line or he's getting 2 points on that play. But Wemby's just erasing shots, then the following play hitting a big 3, or he's just doing anything, bro. They just throw it to the rim. He's catching every alley-oop. That's how they kind of close the game. So that's really what I wanted to start with. But I don't think the Spurs are the second best team in the league, but I think they are the worst. They provide the most matchup like trouble for the Thunder and the Pistons, bro. Why I say that is just like Wemby's factor really affects Shea and Cade. Like Cade was 5 of 26 or 6 of 25, something like that. And because they try to get down to the rim or Shea in the mid range, and Wemby's just there being able to affect too many shots, bro. But what you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said to you off air, I was only able to watch the first half because I had work for the second half. But I mean, bro, Wemby is ridiculous, bro. He takes away the rim when he's on the court. Like especially if you don't have a shooting big, like and even if you do, like he's probably like let's say if they had Stu out there, they would probably have Wemby guarding Amen Thompson, right down the dunker, and again he's just taking away the rim.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Asar
Thompson.
Yeah. The Pistons lineup's kind of troubling me right now. Like they won their last 8 out of 9 or something. They were doing good, but still, when they try to go defensive lineup, say Dyson, Cade, JD, Javonte Green maybe, and Asar, like teams aren't even guarding Asar at this point, bro. They're sagging way off of him. Yes, he's a good cutter and he can finish at the rim, but that's still like you don't want to play playoff basketball with a non-shooter on the floor. And then Duncan comes on the floor, and shout out to our guy, and he tries really hard on the defensive end, but teams are just hunting him out too. So it's like, yeah, you try to pick a side, and JB's got a tough, like yesterday he sat Asar for a lot of the second half, most of the second half. But it's like he's in a tough predicament, bro, because you try to get some shooting on the floor, and Herter didn't play. I'll recognize that, but you try to get shooting on the floor, and then, feel me, you lack defense, and then you get defense on the floor, and now Cade's playing where they can double him, or Wemby's just roaming the paint. So it's a tough situation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not going to win when Cade shoots 5 of 25 and, has 3 turnovers. And that's a problem, I think. I've really started watching Cade's game this year, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but he throws the ball around. Like, I know he has the ball the whole game, and I know it's like a heliocentric offense and it runs through him. But, like, some of his decisions on pick and rolls, it just throws me for a loop. It's just like, bro, that was just not a good read. But he's Cade Cunningham, so what can I really say? But like I said, they're not going to win the game. Him shooting 5 of 25. They're not going to win when, Ron Holland goes 1 for 6, taking 6 threes. Like stuff like that's not going to happen. Duncan going 3 for 11. And yeah, the Spurs defense plays into that stuff. But, these guys got to make shots. And Asar got to be aggressive too. Like if they're not going to guard him, he got to, create handoffs, right? Go downhill. Like, you can't just be like, a man over there with the Rockets who's seeing ghosts right now and just not playing well. But yeah.
Great points, bro. Great points. And Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Cade 3 turnovers. One, I'll say that's not crazy, but I agree that sometimes he's making some crazy reads like that just wasn't the read right there, or you're trying to do too much. 5 of 26, super inefficient basketball, and Cade is really freaking good, bro. Like he's really good. He should be first team, but I still think the efficiency part is why he's not gonna be. He can't crack the MVP discussion with Shea and Joker is because you're playing inefficient basketball. Also on that note, Joker and the Nuggets, they're struggling too, partly because some of these teams where it's just one person not saying it's one person basketball, but you're just watching your best player play. It's hard to be the supporting cast to be efficient, bro. It's really hard for people to just stand around and like you said, now they might be seeing ghosts. And one thing too is the Spurs are really good. Like Castle can guard anybody, bro, and that makes stuff really hard for Cade. Like you saw him unleash his anger yesterday and push him on the ground and almost start another fight. Why does JD keep putting his finger in people's face, bro? Like that's fighting language without saying nothing. But the Pistons aren't scared of nobody. Like they're showing that, and their best two players are on that energy too. Like yo, we're not backing down from nobody. So the league is in a super good point right now. But do you think it's an issue like because there was another fight that broke out the other day, Scottie Pippen Jr. and the dude on the Heat. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like tensions are flaring a little bit more. You think there's a specific reason for that, or it's just good for the league?
It's a competitive game, man, especially when millions of dollars are on the line. Like I can't imagine, what type of energy they're feeling. But I don't know, like to me, like, I have an older brother, man, who watched 90s basketball, and he's always like, yo, this league is soft. This league is blah, 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 blah. And, but I'm like, you're not watching the games, Lord, because these dudes is they get in each other's face. They not like, I'm watching the off-ball actions. Like Stephon Castle has his hands on Cade the whole time. You cannot tell me that it's a soft game right now. I'm sorry, you're not watching the games if you're saying that. So I love my big brother, but he not. He not. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, I love the competitive aspect too. Obviously, you don't want too much of that, but you love competitiveness, bro. I like it. But Jalen doing that type of stuff, that's definitely disrespectful. He can't be surprised if somebody try to retaliate, honestly.
Yeah, someone they're gonna start looking at JD like, yo, I'm not like Kata or some of these backup bigs that you might be trying to bully, bro. Like we could really get to it. But yeah, like people even yesterday, people being super aggressive with Wemby, knocking him on the ground too. I think teams are gonna look at that film like that's a way we can kind of take Wemby's. And Wemby still shined last night, but that's a way to take Wemby out of the offense a little bit, just be super physical. So the game is really good, bro. And sometimes when you're playing a competitive sport, your head's bumping into each other or your body's bumping into each other every play. Like stuff like that's gonna happen, but it's good for the game. But there's already been a little bit of a longer episode, so we'll get out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in week to week. That's another episode of Not Even D2. Make sure to subscribe. Go follow us on all social medias. And we'll see you next week on Thursday.